Welcome back. You're watching In Your Interest. I'm Shweta Kothari. In a major sign of worry for car makers, G20 Sherpa Amitabh Kant recently said that the country will continue 5% tax on electric cars and 48% whopping tax on hybrid cars for a long period of time. Now, Kant's statement comes even as car makers such as Maruti Suzuki India and Toyota have been asking for lowering of taxes on hybrid cars. Specifically, as India aims to become a carbon neutral country by 2070, automakers in the country are divided over the best path forward. One hand, giants like Maruti Suzuki, Toyota and Honda have been pushing for tax cuts on hybrids. On the other hand, car makers like Tata Motors, Hyundai, Kia and M&M have been insisting that only a full commitment to EVs can truly decarbonize India's road ahead. So what is the road ahead that one needs to take to when it comes to automotive space, especially the divide between hybrid cars as well as electric cars? Let's talk about that. Joining us on the show is Amar Jatin Sheth. He's the treasurer of FADA. Amar, I think first question first, if one were to buy a car today, the choices are very limited. One can either go for a proper hybrid, a full hybrid or an EV. For somebody who is, really sitting on the sidelines and waiting for more progress to happen as far as EVs is concerned, and we're hoping for more highways to be built EV friendly, would go for hybrid. But the tax rate at 48% makes it very difficult. From what we are hearing, that is likely to continue.
Yeah, I think that is what the recent conclusion is coming out to be, that the benefits that few states had provided is not for the full of the country. And I think as a long-term policy, the tax rates would on hybrids continue to be high. It's only the EVs that will get the benefit of the lower tax regime.
Okay, but isn't that against what many companies, including Maruti Suzuki and other, prominent companies, have been demanding, that hybrid is the way forward? We cannot truly depend on electric vehicles until there is greater adoption. We should perhaps incentivize, if not semi-hybrid cars, then proper full hybrid vehicles. That demand continues and doesn't look like it will be met.
So I think the point where strong hybrids are, look forward to get maybe the bridging strategy till the time the EV happens. But if we look at currently, there are two manufacturers basically in this space, like you rightly mentioned, Toyota and Maruti. So they somehow don't have EV vehicles in the offering right now. And I don't think that is, they've shared their plans for the future on the full EVs too. So I guess the government is maybe trying to side or trying to incentivize the players that have actually invested in the EVs or are showing commitment to invest in the EV space. Because as per them, that is the true net zero or the carbon neutral regime that they wish to reach.
Okay, but Japanese companies specifically have been asking for the GST on hybrid vehicles to be brought down from 48%, well within the remit to where it will be all right for people to actually, and there's no greater price differential between an ICE engine vehicle versus a hybrid vehicle. And the reason so is that ICE engine clearly is not the vehicle of future, and if one were to make a choice, it looks like hybrid would be more preferred. In your assessment, having spoken to all the auto players out there and somebody who really assesses the numbers when it comes to sales figures and what automotive industry really needs and is demanding, what is the need for the future? What is the need for policy intervention right now when it comes to hybrid? Do you think there needs to be more thrust towards bringing the duties and cesses down on hybrid vehicles?
So I think we have seen sporadic measures in states where the registration benefits have been passed for strong hybrid vehicles. Probably in Uttar Pradesh, where there has been such a policy coming in. In certain states, they announced and then they took it back, but there is still certain amount of benefit given in a few states of the country. But that is more on the registration tax angle. And if your question on GST, I think the policymakers are also wanting the manufacturers to clearly announce their path forward. I think if you're finally going to move to the EVs, when are you going to do it? When are you planning to do the hybrid can be a bridging model, but if the thought is to move towards EV, then it is not. Of course, I think this comes with a disclaimer that we don't know, is EV the full final future? Will I still make a comeback, or will it be the hybrid? So it's only times are going to tell. But there, in my view, if I was in their place, I would probably give a benefit, but provided you show me your game plan on how you're going to move to the finalized move.
All right. So,
Okay.
quickly before I let you go, I know
Yeah.
you mentioned that Uttar Pradesh government was the one of the first, obviously the state governments, to waive off about 8 to 10% registration tax on strong hybrid vehicles. So, are we now
Right.
only looking at state governments to do the needful in absence of any central
No,
policy intervention?
so the registration tax is a state subject, so that is why the state does it. If it is
Exactly.
the GST, of course, it is
So
the central
my
subject, and they.
question is, are we only therefore looking at some sort of state intervention for states specifically to take action on hybrid, if at all, because it looks like there will not be any central intervention?
Yeah, I guess if there is nothing from the center, then this is the only other component that is available to make a difference to the transaction price.
All right, Amar Jatin Sheth, thank you very much for taking time out for joining us on that
Oh,
story.
it's a pleasure. Thank you.
And with that, it's a wrap on the show. Thank you very much for watching.